Wait, that's all right. Cool. Peace and love, family. Peace, peace, peace. Peace and love, family. All right, before you comment, please share, family. Please share. It's about that time. It's about that time. All right, go ahead and share, family. Go ahead and share. All right, this is going to be a very informative live. All right, we have Consumer Casino coming up. All right, and I also want y'all to understand what comes with Consumer Casino, because I understand a lot of people's like, what is that? What is Consumer Casino? All right. So make sure y'all share, family. Make sure y'all share. All right. Happy Wednesday. All right. Some may say hump day. All right. However you're looking at it. All right. Peace and love. Make sure y'all share, family. We live on YouTube. We live on IG. Okay. Freeway. Not the highway. All right. So make sure y'all share. Make sure y'all share. All right. How y'all feeling today? All right, from a scale of 1 to 10, let me know how y'all feeling. Scale of 1 to 10, how are you feeling at this moment right now? All right, don't lie. Be honest. This is a safe space. All right, we have a couple of things we're going to go over tonight. All right, most importantly, the main topic of the night is Consumer Casino. All right, Consumer Casino. For those that don't know what Consumer Casino is, all right, it's something I created about 3 months ago. All right, drunk as hell. I was drunk as hell. All right, but we created Consumer Casino as a way to kind of give back to the followers, kind of give back to the students. All right, it's a way that you could possibly win all of my classes. All right, all of my classes, and not just all my classes. All right, also a ticket to my St. Louis event, which will be March 30th. Okay. So yes, for all y'all that have won, some of y'all done won Consumer Casino before. Some of y'all was able to tap into my mentorship that I just had. Now, this Consumer Casino will not involve any type of mentorship. My next mentorship won't be until June. I want to say June or around the time, probably May. But I will have a Consumer Casino for that as well. All right, I'll have Consumer, but this one is not for that. All right, so this Consumer Casino, all right, the prize is, all right, 2 St. Louis tickets. All right, 2 St. Louis tickets, so you can bring somebody with you. All right, 2 St. Louis tickets. All right, and all of my classes. I mean, you get my bundle plus. Now, what comes with my bundle plus? All right, for those that already have it, some of y'all already won. All right, for those that don't know what that entails, all right, I have a bundle class. Okay, and I'm gonna go ahead and put another class up there as well. It's not up there yet, my clarity course. All right, but let me go ahead and break down all the classes that come with my bundle. All right, so let's say you tapped into the Consumer Casino, you got your raffle ticket, and let's say you won. What do you win? Okay, you're going to win my beginner course. Now, my beginner course is already free for those that do not understand that already. You can already get my beginner course. How do you get my beginner course for free? Go ahead and click my profile, especially YouTube. Go to my main page, go to the front page, click my face or my name. It should take you to my first page, my official page. And it should be a black link that says Hood Consumer Advisor / links. Click that. It's going to say website. Click the website. All right. And on that, when you keep clicking, you should see my beginner course on there somewhere. All right. Down. That's free. Anybody can get that. Okay. Now, what comes with the beginner course? The beginner course is me breaking down the Bill of Exchange Act. All right, you got to understand what the Bill of Exchange Act is. You have to understand how you're supposed to be paying your bills. All right, I learned that I'm supposed to be endorsing my bills because I read the Bill of Exchange Act, family. That's why I would never work again. That's why I would never put any work pants on unless I'm volunteering or something like that. But being in a situation where I have to go to work, I will never. Why? Because I read the Bill of Exchange Act. Now, some people believe that I use the money for my classes to pay my bills. Now, you can believe that. Great. You can believe that. All right. But right now, if I would say the internet went down right now, all right, nobody was able to talk to anyone, all right, I would still be endorsing my bills, family. That's the power of understanding law. All right. When in doubt, if everything crashes, I've read so much law that I understand what to do if the internet went down. Okay. So I've read the Bill of Exchange Act. That's specifically what kind of gave me the go ahead clearance to endorse my bills. All right. So this is in my beginner course. I'm still going over my beginner course. So I'm going over the Bill of Exchange Act in my beginner course. I'm going over the Federal Reserve Act as well, because you need to understand the power of your application. All right. So many people are literally going and applying for things, cars, houses, apartments, credit cards, all right, and getting denied. You're only getting denied because you do not understand the value of your application. All right, so I break down the Federal Reserve Act. All right, I also break down the Sesta K. Vi Act of 1666. That basically lets you know that if you don't claim anything from the ages of 18 to the ages of 25, which is 7 years, all right, you will be counted as naturally dead by the state. Okay. All right. So I'm breaking those down. I also go over the Truth in Lending Act in that beginner course as well. It's like 7 hours. Okay. All right. So that's my beginner course. Next, what comes with my bundle? All right. Is my Advanced Plus, where I show you step by step how to endorse a bill. All right. I go step by step I show you how to endorse a bill. All right. So that's the second class. Third class is what you're going to get is called Reverse My Denial. Meaning, just like I just said, if you ever been denied for credit, all right, and you got a denial letter, all right, the problem was you did not read the denial letter and literally answer to the denial letter. All right, from now on, you need to start looking at every single thing that the bank gives you. All right, look at it like a text message. All right, they send you a text message, meaning they say, hey, you declined because of this. You need to send the text message back, meaning a letter back, explaining why that is not true or why you don't agree with the terms or the adverse action. Okay, that's how you reverse a denial, family. All right, it's called reconsideration. All right, you're going to get your basically your answer reconsidered, meaning if you got denied for any type of credit, okay, that class literally shows you step by step how to attack a denial. Okay, so that's my third class. My fourth class is benefits of being a tenant. How many of you are living in an apartment? Okay, in that class, we literally go, I think we do about 20 different states, but it's all the same. All right, we literally go step by step the power of a tenant, because a lot of people think landlords have more powers than tenants, and that's just not true. All right, that's just not true. All right, so understanding the power of a tenant, because I know specifically in Florida, if you read the Florida statute 8349, all right, and that's how I was able to beat my eviction in Florida. All right, if you read, and y'all can go look up this for yourself. All right, Florida statute 83.49. It specifically talks about how the landlord is supposed to pay the rent on behalf of the tenant, and the landlord is supposed to be paying the tenant interest. Go read it for yourself. Don't believe me? Go read it for yourself. I know people gonna say that's not true. Same people that paying bills. Okay, so what is that? Was that 5 classes or 4 classes? I said my versatile, beginner, advanced course plus benefits of being tenant. Fifth class, benefits of reading your contract. In that class, I literally show you step by step how to read your contract. I know it sounds crazy. You're probably telling yourself, man, I know how to read. All right, I know how to read. Okay, I know how to, trust me, believe you do not know how to read, okay? Because if you have not read your contract, or let's say you did read your contract, why did you read your contract and you didn't do anything about it? You see what I'm saying? So it's a lot of things that we do not understand. I'm here to bring awareness. Again, you don't have to tap in. You can just keep doing what you've been doing. I did that life already, worked 84 hours a week. Okay, I did it. All right, I did it. I understand that life. Nobody can tell me anything about that life. All right, but not a lot of people can tell me about this life. Okay, so that's the 5th class. All right, again, in that class, it's called Benefits of Reading Your Contract. I show you step by step how to break your contract down. There's some key phrases in your contract. I'll go ahead and say one. Security interests. Okay, go back and read your contract and go see where it says that you gave them a security interest. If you don't believe what I'm saying, y'all, just go read your contracts. I know you haven't read your contract. All right? Because I know I didn't used to read my contracts either. And then when I started reading, I'm like, what? All right? It literally says in my car contract, you give us a security interest. Comment 8 if you've seen that in your car contract. Yeah, we live right now. Yeah, we live. All right. So the people that's commented 8, so you seen where it said you give us a security interest. Let me ask you a question. Do you even understand what a security interest is? What if I told you you already gave them payment? They literally told you, hey, you give us a security interest in the vehicle. That's like me saying, hey, you give me all the value and funds of the vehicle. Why would you do that? You did it because you didn't know. As I should say, we did it because we didn't know. Because if you're paying using personal income, meaning your job money, to pay on something that literally says in your contract, you gave them a security interest. Do you even understand what a security interest is? Yeah. Do you even know what a security interest is? All right. All right. That's how we level up understanding words. All right. Being able to articulate ourselves when we're talking to banks, being able to articulate ourselves when we're talking to legal teams. All right. This isn't barbershop talk. This isn't you going to your friends. Your friends don't know this. All right. All right. You have to understand this. Your friends don't know. This isn't something you bring to the family table and say, hey, y'all, nobody at your family table is going to know. Just ask. Next time you have a family dinner or you're around your friend, ask them, hey, do you know what a security interest is? Watch them be like, no, I don't. But in their contract, it says they gave a security interest. Imagine giving something that you didn't even know you gave. It's like taking candy from a baby. Think about it. So before you say that's not true, go read your car contract. If you have a car, okay? Go read it. It's going to say verbatim, you give us a security interest. Okay? So that's the 5th class. My 6th class, all right, is my court class. It's not legal advice, it's lawful awareness. Okay, I specifically show you step by step how to build a case. Again, it's not legal advice. It is lawful awareness. All right, understanding what to do when you're violated. All right, so all those classes I have builds up to my court class. All right, so think about it. You get all of those classes, all right, if you win Consumer Casino, and you get 2 tickets to my St. Louis, all right, class that I will be having on March 30th at the end of this month. Okay, so yeah, you get all that. Now, the price to get into Consumer Casino. Now, we've had Consumer Casino where everybody won. All right, who remember that? Who remember when everybody won? All right, so you never know. All right, you never know. All right, make sure y'all share this live, family, because again, somebody might say like, oh, let me tap into this. I might like this. All right, and then they gonna say, come back to you and say, man, you're the reason why I tapped into that class. All right, you're the reason why I won Consumer Casino. I was able to get to his St. Louis class. I was able to learn information that I never knew I needed. All right, how many of you, remember y'all, we live on YouTube and we live on Instagram. How many of you have won Consumer Casino before? All right. Imagine winning Consumer Casino and then again, get in the class and imagine, my class is if you was to buy all my classes, it's like $2,000, like $2,500 or $3,000. So imagine entering Consumer Casino for $20 and you win all my classes. You just won all of my classes plus 2 tickets for $20. Okay, so think about it. All right, what do you have to lose? You have only to gain because I might decide to make everybody win because y'all got to remember something. It doesn't cost me a thing for folks to win, for everybody to win. All right, have y'all ever seen a game where everybody wins? I ain't never seen it. All right. I ain't never seen it. All right. So for those that are on Instagram right now, if you want to tap in with this consumer casino, go ahead and comment winner. All right. Comment winner. All right. You should be able to receive the link. For those that's on YouTube, if you want to tap in, all right, you have to go to the link that's in my bio. All right. Link in my bio. For those that's on Instagram, you're going to comment winner. For those that's on YouTube, you're going to go to the link in my bio. Let me say it again. For those that are on Instagram, you're going to comment winner. For those that are on YouTube, you're going to go to the link in my bio. All payment is going to be linked through my bio. No Cash App. All right. Meaning directly to me. Okay. Now, again, everybody might win. You never know. All right. All right, you never know. Everybody might win. Everybody might not win. Okay, but you still might be able to go home with something. You know, we try to keep it exciting, y'all. We try to keep it exciting. All right, because I do understand how, difficult this information can be. All right, I understand. I understand. 1 second. Let me. Okay. All right, let me put this camera back on. Okay. I don't know why my camera's so damn. Hold on right quick, family. Okay. All right. So, yeah, I understand how difficult this information can be, family. How many of you feel like this is an information overload? All right. How many of you feel like you've been on this journey, man? It just feel like it's so much different information. All right. Different people saying different things. All right. Y'all have to remember something. All right. All right. This brand over here, we have results. Okay. We have results. All right. Comment 8. Nope, because I like the number 8. Comment 7. Comment 7. All right. If you feel like we don't have results, I just want to see, where y'all are. And again, be honest, y'all. Be honest. I don't want you to be a goody two-shoe and just a brown nose. Like, yeah, he sounds good, so I'm sure you guys. All right. Do you feel like we have? Now, what does results mean? All right. My definition. My definition of results. Okay, cool. My definition of results is after I get results, I'm able to teach it to somebody and they get results as well. All right, that's my definition of results. All right, that's my definition. So I've been able to help multiple people get remedy, get results. All right, multiple people. I've been around y'all for like 4 years now. What has it been? 4.5 years, 5 years? Y'all remember when they said I was gonna be locked up? Y'all remember when they said my company was getting sued? Yada yada yada. Okay. Now we wouldn't have been around this long. All right. So again, all I've been doing this whole time for the last 4.5 years is telling people to read. That's it. Now imagine if you would have been reading 4 years ago. 9 times out of 10, you would not be right here staring at me right now. There's a lot of folks that's been on this journey for a long time, and they have excuses, y'all. They say things like, no one has the process. All these people just stealing our money. But I always ask, have y'all ever asked them this? Like, you mean to tell me all these people out here, you have not read the answer yet? Yeah, even if it took you 10, 50, I'm better late than never. Yeah, I'm with it. Better late than never. But there's a lot of folks that are, man, they on the wrong path, y'all. They're bouncing around, they're hearing everybody just because they sound good. Y'all gotta remember, a lot of people don't have results. A lot of folks don't have results, family. As much as you know, love people, all right. Even myself, like, don't be too much under an umbrella, okay? Because I'm here to tell you to read. Because soon as you read and you start clicking it yourself, like, damn, it's right here. He did say security interest is gonna be in my contract. Damn, it says right here. And you got a lot of people that say, well, what do we do with that information? You see what I'm saying? I was like, okay, you need to get a class. Okay? You got to get a class. We don't have time to sit there and explain that's why there are classes. In school, you have to take curriculum so you can learn the details of everything. There's classes. All right? So you have to invest in these classes. These classes aren't free. But games like Consumer Casino, all right, that now you have a chance to basically being able to get all those classes for a very low price. We talking about $20, y'all. Imagine getting 45, 50 hours of information and 2 tickets to St. Louis for $20. I ain't bought a gram in a minute, but I remember buying grams of weed for $20. All right. So just imagine if you take a chance. All right. Think about the last $20 you spent. Think about the last $20 you spent. Where did it go? You probably don't even remember. I don't even know. I'm talking about the last dub, meaning the last $20 you gave and didn't get anything back. Y'all go ahead and comment. What was the last dub you spent? Okay. All right. So yeah, imagine getting all this information for 20, y'all. $20. Consumer Casino. Yeah, food. Yeah, 20 on some gas for the car. Somebody said, when we need arbitration, ask Santander to set up the date or contact the arbitrator direct. You can contact the arbitrator directly, or you can send Santander a letter, let them know you want to exercise your rights for arbitration. Yeah, some groceries. Yeah. All right. So just imagine. All right. So again, y'all, we're here to entertain, but at the same time inform, y'all. All right. Now we can get on here and roast people all day. I love stuff like that. All right. But at the end of the day, after we get done laughing, we got to be able to leave this right here and be able to go to our contracts. How many people from our last class, from our last live that we did, how many of y'all have read y'all contract since then, or at least something in your contract since then? It should be something you do every day. A little 30 minutes. 30 minutes. Just read your car contract. 30 minutes. All right. Just put a timer on and boom, just go. As soon as this gets done, just stop. Okay. Again, I'm not here to milk anybody. I'm not here to spin you. I'm not here to, all right, I'm not here for that, y'all. A lot of people is making these processes way harder than what it is. All right. If you simply read, all right, I'm gonna be honest with you. There's a lot of favor that goes into this too. All right. Imagine reading, doing what you're supposed to do. You're just gonna start just having favor out of nowhere. All right. Well, I'm not gonna say out of nowhere, but to a lot of people, they're going to look at it as it being out of nowhere. All right. But you doing the right thing righteously, meaning reading your contract, meaning really trying to understand what's going on so you can do more for your family. Because if you're somebody that's just working a job and you've literally told yourself, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. I got a house because of this job. Like, yeah, but if somebody really sets you down, all right, and went over your contract and said, hey, man, do you know you can just simply use the security interest to cover this obligation? You don't got to go work those 60 hours, those 70 hours. All right, what would you do? You know, a lot of y'all have so much of cognitive dissonance. All right, meaning you could hear that and still somehow tell yourself, hey, man, I got to do what I got to do, man. You know, I do what I got to do. You know, and it's crazy. If you really think about it, it's crazy. Okay, it's crazy. And I'm not here to encourage y'all to get no jobs. And again, I know I don't sound like everybody else. All right. I'm not here to give you information like everybody else. So when I say things like go get you some food stamps, a lot of people hear that was like, well, I can't get food stamps as a guy, I work a job. And I'll be saying, you know, I'm just speaking from my perspective. I'm like, yo, quit your job. Go get you some maximized food stamps and then learn how to use security interest. Then, you know, you got a lot of people that might laugh and say, you want me to quit my job just to get food stamps? Because they're hearing it from their perspective. They're thinking I'm saying just quit your job and just live off food stamps. That's not what I'm saying. I've never said that. Okay. All right. So again, just imagine. All right. Just imagine being able to get all your rent money back. I was able to get all my rent money back. I know some of y'all don't even know what that means or even understand what that means. Okay. But imagine beating eviction and getting your money back that you came out of pocket for. Imagine doing that on a mortgage that you imagine being being paying on a mortgage for 10 years. And then you up one day and start learning your security interest rights. And then you up one day, start sending a revocation of POA to the lender or the mortgage company. And you letting them know that you can handle your own affairs, or you can say you can handle the affairs on behalf of the principal. The principal would like to utilize the security interest to cover all debts owed. You know, you send them a bill of exchange. You send them a set off letter. You send them a conditional acceptance. You can send them a, you know, there's options, man. You know, and I'd be a dead horse trying to. If I heard this and told myself, man, nah, that's cap, that's lame. I'm not doing that. And it's like it's so unbelievable that people would just still sit here and listen to me. You know, because if it's me and if I'm hearing something wild, I'm like, yo, man, swiping off. But you know, a lot of people would sit here and be like, nope, nope, that's not true. No, he just want our money. You know, and it's wild. You know, I am up here for entertainment, but but most importantly, I'm up here giving information, y'all. Somebody said, do you have any problems when doing your POA with your name to those reading? It just sees your name twice. All right, y'all. This is how you get through the POA. Let's say you have an issue with a notary. All right, I'm gonna be honest. You don't really need a notary. You can just get two live witnesses. You know, go get your brother or friend. Say, hey, I need two live witnesses. Two live witnesses cancel out a notary. All right. Now, if you have an issue with the corporation, all right, you have to remember, you have to understand how to articulate yourself. A lot of y'all are doing these steps and y'all don't even know how to articulate yourself, because nobody should be coming back to me and saying, hey, they didn't set my POA. They said that my name's wrong. What should I do? You know, because it sounds like, baby, no offense to the person that asked me, but this is just a general answer to everybody. All right. Because if they ask me that, I off the bat already understand that my government name is a business name. All right, that is not me. All right, so I know how to explain that. I can say, well, that's the corporation. I'm the agent for the corporation. All right, I know how to stand up and mention that. All right, but for a lot of y'all that don't know how to stand up, you're going to get knocked down every time. Every time you get to a level and say, okay, I'm here, they're going to knock you down. You're like, oh my gosh, what do I do now? That's not how you do this. Go read. All right, you don't have enough clarity. You don't have the vision. All right, you're not ready to step on that field. This isn't, oh, I learned it today, let me go try tomorrow. And a lot of people think it's that simple because I get on here and say it's simple, but because people don't understand how much reading I've done. All right, remember, we can hee hee. But when we get off this camera, you know, real life is real life. Some people got the answers. Some people don't. All right. Yeah, our government name is a business name. All right. We are the agents. A living person is the agent for the business. All right. So if they ever say these are the same people, no, it's not. Why do y'all have a hard time telling them people that? It's not the same name. As you can see, the last name is first, the first name last, and the middle initial. That indicates the living agent. All right, opposed to the first name, last name, all caps, which is the business entity, the fictitious entity. That's why I tell people to read. That's why I've been telling people to read. All right. But you know, there's a lot of cheap people. You know, they be saying, I'm not paying anything. I do this myself. Ain't nobody did this themselves. I invested in class myself. Ain't nobody got results themselves. And if they did, they're lying. They're damn lying. All right. Because I damn sure didn't stumble upon this information my damn self either. All right. I invested money and I'm glad I invested that money. But you got a lot of people out here trying to have that entitlement. Man, I'm not paying them something I can do myself. Okay, keep thinking this is some hopscotch. Keep thinking this is some making a hot pocket. I can make a hot pocket. All I gotta do is put it in the microwave and put it on for 2 minutes. Keep thinking this is a hot pocket process. Okay? It's not that, y'all. I just look like this. All right, sometimes I gotta say, I just look like this. Okay? Man, I know sometimes that shit be throwing y'all off, man. Like, ain't no way. I went to school. He sold weed. He has face tats. There's no way. And I'm here to let you know. Wait. Okay. Wait. All right, go ahead and swallow the pill. Go ahead and do whatever you got to do. Wait. Okay. Yes. Yes. Somebody that looks like this, learn something that you need to learn. Okay? All right? It ain't like I'm up here with my nails painted and wearing a dress or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm coming at y'all as a man. You know, a man that used to be uninformed. You know, I got folks that knew me before this that's on here. Then I got folks that never knew my last life. Okay? I don't know. All right? But ain't no way. Man, ain't no way if I was in y'all's shoes and I heard somebody look like myself, and if I said, yo, go read your contract if you don't believe me, go find the word security interest. Man, you know what I'm about to do? I'm going to go get my contract. I'm going to put it in my chat GBT. I'm going to say, chat, can you find any words like security interest? Can you explain what a security interest is, chat? All right, chat GBT, how can I leverage the security interest? You know, these thoughts don't come to your head, and I have to remember something, man. I've read. So my questions ain't going to be the same questions that somebody that ain't read before. Somebody that ain't read before be like, how do I do that? I can't remember the last time I asked somebody, how do I do that? And again, I know we all have our places. Again, I was a beginner too, but I'm here to encourage the beginners. You don't want to get into a habit of, what do I do next? Now what? Now what? Now what? Because I'm going to hit you with, well, what did you learn from the last step that you did? Why did you send that document? A lot of people say this, well, I watched your video and you said send that. And wrong. Because what if I said something wrong? What if I lied to you? You know, what you gonna do when that president call you? When you gonna, oh damn, I watched master class, I forgot what he told us to say. That sounds like a kid. That sounds like a kid trying to imitate. I'm not an imitator. All right? And if you don't know how to hold your own on that phone call, because you're going to get a phone call. They're going to call you, ask you questions, but hey, man, you put on your application that your employment was that you were independent government security holder. What do you mean by that? Oh, damn, I took some mentorship. You know, that ain't going to work, y'all. That ain't how this is. And a lot of y'all going to do that. A lot of y'all doing that now. Hey, I watched your class and I just want to ask you, why do y'all lead with that? I watched all your classes because you telling me all that and then following with a beginner ass question, yo, it's kind of insulting. And I don't think a lot of people realize it. They be like, I watched all your classes. I understand. I just need to know, what do I do next? And I'm like, I didn't say it in the class. Somebody said, what is your thoughts on humanity? My thoughts on humanity is humanity's position is going to be what it is based off the capacity to contract of humanity. Meaning the majority of people don't have capacity to contract. So humanity is in a low state right now. It's a very low state. Okay, so I'm here to help humanity for sure, and I'm here to try to encourage people to learn this information so they can help themselves, so they can help humanity. All right, because I done been in them break rooms, I done been in those, I done been in the conversations saying, man, the economy is terrible right now. Man, they're just taking jobs ain't paying nothing. It's not like the old days. Yeah, man, I don't want to hear that no more. That's what most people say. All right, because they don't understand how to leverage the security interest. That's a whole different conversation. All right, that's a whole different conversation, y'all. Okay, whole different conversation. How many of y'all right now, and again, this is no brag or boast, how many of y'all right now can call a millionaire? Let me rephrase that because we used to say I make six figures, but we didn't have six figures in our bank account, did we? We did. All right. So when I say how many of y'all can call a millionaire, I'm not talking about somebody that's on the tax books made a million or generated. I'm talking about somebody that has liquid a million. All right. The thing is, you know why you probably don't? Because you're not in those rooms. All right. Your conversation is on the level whatever you're on. Y'all got to remember, whatever level we're on is due to our conversation. What is your general conversation about? Think about everything you talked about today. All right, what about now? Yeah, we good? All right, cool, we good. All right, so yeah, whatever level you on, again, is based off of your conversation. All right, what have your conversation been looking like? I remember just talking about sports all the time. I remember just talking about women all the time. All right, think about it. Ladies, what is y'all conversation? What have you been talking about all day? All right, because imagine having a man that's building, he's building an empire, and then you watching Love and Hip Hop, you talking to your friend about gossip, who Jake done cheated on, how big Frank is. It's not like, what are y'all talking about? Or guys, you calling your boy, hey, what your prize pick is tonight, bro? Who you going with? It used to be me. It used to be me. Okay. All right. So nobody can really say if you really going against what I'm saying, it's only because you have cognitive dissonance. I was never too My ego was never too big not to learn that damn I was better than this. A lot of people have made pacts, have made negotiations with themselves like this is what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm here to let you know, no, you're not. Because if you were, you wouldn't be here right now listening to me. Everything is divine timing. You're not supposed to be working. I don't care how many people in your family looks up to you. They're uninformed. I had to tell somebody the other day, like, So do you rather have a bunch of uninformed people praising you, or would you rather have informed people praising you? Because I don't think uninformed people praising me is necessarily saying that I'm doing a good job. I don't think so. Do y'all think so? Imagine my kid or my wife saying, my dad or my husband is a hardworking man. He works 70 hours a week. My dad makes sure my dad comes home with bloody knuckles. You know, my dad comes home exhausted because he's such a hardworking. Y'all, this ain't the 20s. This ain't the 30s. It's 2025 allegedly. The reason why they're praising you is because they don't know. You've been leading them. Now your son thinks, well, working hard. As soon as you cut folks off, man, like they always do a U-turn. All right, hold on, I gotta do it again. Damn, leave me alone. Should I have a Treasury direct account? No, none of that matters. Yeah, none of that matters. Yeah, none of that matters. Am I back? We good? Yeah. So, yeah, conversation, y'all. Keyword conversation. Again, if you want to tap into the raffle, all right. For those that are on Instagram, you're gonna comment winner. For those that are on YouTube, you're gonna go to the my bio, link in my bio. Go to my official page. Go to my first page. Click the link in my bio. It should say Hood Consumer Advisor /links. Go ahead and click on that, and go ahead and go to. It should say website. Click website, follow the prompt, go all the way down. You should see raffle. All right. We having a $20 raffle. All winners, you will be winning all of my classes, and you will be winning 2 tickets to my St. Louis event that will be August 30th. Not August, my bad, y'all. March 30th, this month. All right. The end of this month, March 30th. We know we will be naming the winners on Friday. All right, so we'll be naming the winners on Friday. So y'all stay tuned for Friday. I will be announcing. All right, but we will be announcing on Instagram. All right. We might announce them on YouTube. We might switch it up a little bit. All right, but y'all, yeah, you know it's gonna be a show. What if you're not in St. Louis? If you're not in St. Louis, then go to St. Louis. Meet us. Meet us there. Meet us. Hey, meet us there. Hey, meet us. St. Louis. Meet us there. We are in St. Louis. Meet us there. Plane ride. You can meet us there. Hey, train ride. You can meet us there. Hey, first class. You can meet us there. Hey, if you ain't there, meet us there. Simple. Travel. You know, we had somebody come from Canada all the way to Miami. We had people from Seattle come to Charlotte. Yeah. You're gonna be able to say you're gonna be on that plane like, where are you going? Hey, I'm going to a financial class teaching about security. It's like, oh really? What's that? Boom. There you go. Meet us there. Hey, meet us. Hey, meet us there. You can meet us. Okay? Yeah, tap in. All right. Now, why isn't anybody blocking me from giving this information? Good question, Lady T. Now, this because I'm speaking public information. All right. I don't talk about certain bank account. If y'all notice, I don't talk about bank accounts, how to go do certain things to bank accounts, how to liquidate account. I'm staying away from that. All right. Yeah, it costs a dub. All right, I'm staying away from that. But I can show you how to read. That's why I'm gonna be around for a while. I simply get on here and say, hey, y'all read y'all contracts. All them people that's teaching y'all the taxes and stuff like that, man, that's I'm gonna let them handle that. That's why I chose to stay in this lane. I'm gonna let them handle. I'm gonna let if y'all want to go learn that tax stuff, trust and believe, taxes really don't come into play with this process. All right. If anybody has zeroed that account out using this process, they know they didn't even bring in the IRS. Yeah, I can't. Yeah, you can't gatekeep public info. Yeah, exactly. All right. The Federal Reserve, Section 16, Part 1, talks about applications are receivable by all national banks. And it says that the application is for public dues and taxes. Boom. We also see the word bill of exchange in the Federal Reserve, Section 16, Part 2. All right. So when you kind of understand, like I built me a formula, like I've built me a visual formula. Like if I'm ever in any articulation battles or anything like that, I know which act to go to. A lot of times I don't even have to go to these acts because I'm able to break down the phrases that I see in the contract. I'm able to just simply keep it on security interest. I don't even really bring up no acts. I know I teach people about the acts, but y'all, that stuff really don't even get brought up. Right? It really don't get brought up. They ask me, what are you trying to do? I say, well, I'm simply trying to utilize the security interest to cover all debts owed. All right. I sent in documentation to the headquarters. I sent documentation to the legal team as well. I would like to perform this way rather than use my personal income. And since I'm using the full security interest and not partial, all right, I know that there will be an overpayment left over. That's all the money that I came out of my pocket prior to the security interest. All right, that is what we call unearned interest. If you don't believe me, all right, go look up 15 USC 1615. 15 USC 1615 talks about unearned interest. All right. No, part 1 talks about when a consumer prepays, and it's a dead giveaway. Congress literally telling you after you prepay, anything that's over $1 is supposed to get reverted back to the consumer. Yeah. All right, so you can think it's a game. I'm just here to show y'all how to get y'all money back. I'm showing y'all to correct your accounts. If I'm a scammer because of that, man, I want to be the best scammer ever. I want to be the biggest, the coldest. I want to be the champion of all scammers if that's the case. Put me at the top. All right. Tell JT to put me up there again. All right. I own the crown for having the most videos over there. Somebody let JT Pocket Watch know. Put me up there again. Put me at the top. I love seeing my face when I go on that. What? Boom. There I go. Let's get it. All right. Let's get it. Because you got to remember, family, I'm progressing at a huge rate, right? So when people see me on Good Morning America and things like that, they're going to be like, hey, that's the guy that got exposed. Meet us there. Hey, meet us. Hey, meet us there. You can meet us. I said first class. You can meet us. Hey, bus driver. You can read us. Hey, meet us there. You can meet us. St. Louis. You can meet us. The 30th. You can meet us. Yeah. Yeah. All right. All right. So some of y'all gonna tap in sooner or later, man. I know that some of this is like, man, is this real? Yo, it's entertaining, but it's just real, man. It's gonna hit you, man. You're gonna be like, yo, I used to follow this dude. I used to follow this guy. Like, this can't be real. It's real, y'all. It's real. And if you don't believe me, go read your car contract. It's almost like you tell people to go read their car contract. It's almost like you telling them to go eat boo-boo. They be like, why? Ew. It's like people refuse to go read. You know how many people have yet to read their contract yet? And they try to say, well, I just ain't had time. Well, what you done had time for? What could you possibly have more time for? And that's the difference between me and a lot of people. I put my kids before this information. I remember calling my kids, mama, hey, listen, all right, I'm not going to be worth a damn this month because I'm not working. I don't got no money, but if you need me to come get the kids, I can, but I'm about to lock in and read it. Yeah, man, some of y'all love y'all kids too much. Man, what? Y'all love y'all kids too much, and that's why you're in survival mode. You love them too much. Somebody probably said this today. Oh, I got these kids, or I got, and I just like, shut up. Shut up. This ain't the 20s. This ain't slavery no more. Okay? We can read, meaning we can achieve, meaning we can exceed. All right? I'm tired of hearing that post stuff, man. I know I got these kids. We all do. Some of us got kids on the way. Like, what is this? Put them kids after this information. I really wanted to say something, but I know some of y'all are actually going to do it, but you're not prepared. All right? Sometimes, man, you're going to have to just take a month off work, y'all. Just say, look, because some of y'all got jobs that you can go get another damn job. For y'all that don't know, let me go ahead and give you a little bang. Okay, go ahead and create you a resume. Go ahead and exceed the years. All right? Exceed the years, all right, and you can get a job. I was a master at getting jobs, fam. I could get a job like that. I was a master at the resume and things like that, all right? But a lot of y'all think if you lose your job, you could never get a job again. And that's not true. So I'm saying put your back against the wall, all right? Pay your rent up for the next 2 months if you can, all right? Stock the refrigerator with basic things, okay? Go ahead and go on a sandwich diet for the rest of the month. Let your kids know, hey, it's gonna be a little tight this month. We eating sandwiches or healthy way. We eating all healthy. All right, we're saving money because mom and dad has to read. Some of y'all was like, man, I can't do that, and that's why you're gonna die a peasant. Yes, you're gonna die a peasant. You're showing your kids what a peasant looks like. Yes. Again, y'all, I'm not here to make no damn friends, y'all. At all. Okay? All right? At all. I wish somebody told me this. All right? You are a peasant. Yes. A peasant is somebody that left the fields and went and worked for the industry. That's what a peasant is. That's what a peasant is. You're supposed to be out here creating. You're not supposed to be out here working for a puny check. Man, I wish somebody said that, when we get our check, we be like, hey, I wish somebody tapped me on my shoulder. Hey, man, you can't do nothing with that puny check. And, I was going to say, shoot, this going to my rent. What you talking about? Like, that's it? 1 month? You don't work 40 hours? Man, I wish I had that. I don't never want my kids seeing me come back from work. Me saying I'm tired, I worked today. Just me. I've seen my dad do it, so I don't need my kids to see. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't think that's the generation exceeding if they're doing the same thing I did. If the only thing you can do is pass down the application, you failed. Okay, you've failed. Now, you can resurrect it by learning this information, going back to your baby. Your baby probably 25, 30. Hey, baby, I've been reading this, I was able to zero out my mortgage. Now your kid's going to be listening to you because a lot of y'all probably done kind of lost your respect level with your kids because you got to remember, we get to a certain level as kids and start seeing our parents like, what? They was wrong as hell. My mom never did this. My dad never did, And a lot of parents don't understand that. They don't understand till they get older. Like, damn, why my kid don't talk to me no more? Because your word ain't shit. I'm not the perfect dad either, but your word ain't shit. Why do they need to come ask you for anything? You gonna tell them some 1930s information? Well, keep your job. You know, these kids is hearing different things now. They're watching streamers sitting on camera, all dancing and shit. All right, making millions, and you telling them get a job, find you a trade, so you can always have income. Man, they don't want to hear that. And then they hear guys like me saying, "Forget that peasantry life." You see what I'm saying? So the only way you're gonna get your respect back from your kid, and some of y'all might say, "I don't care about getting my respect." Okay, cool. All right. But imagine bringing them something that's, whoa, mom, where did you learn this? Damn, dad, security interest. Damn. What you just got a car, mom? Oh, my mama cool as hell. My mama just got a damn Lambo. You know, to each his own. Oh my God, my daddy my daddy about to take us. My dad, what? Yeah. Yes. Not going to them and saying, oh, I put clothes on your back. I put a roof over you. Man, stop it. You took the hard way. And sometimes we try to blame our kids. Stop. And that's why a lot of kids lose respect when they get older. You know, they get older, they be like, man, I can't wait till I get older. I ain't saying nothing, mama. You know, forget it. They blaming me because they life hard. Yeah. Yeah. Remember them days you got cussed out by your boss and you went home and took it out on your kids? Yeah. Yeah. So this is like some redemption, like renewal, you know, just putting you, again, this is making you reborn again. All right. And I have people that's, you know, from all ages. I just had somebody that was in my mentorship that was 18 years old. The oldest member, I should say, eldest member that I've ever had tap in, he's 97 now. He's 97 now. So it shows you, you know, just because you're older doesn't mean you can learn this new information. All right, because this is actually going to bring more life to you. I know a lot of y'all probably thinking, oh, I'm at the end of the road. I done did it all. False. It's not true. All right. You're no more than a baby than somebody that's 18 and under because you're looked at as a minor because you don't even control your own affairs. You've been on this realm for decades and decades. Okay. Yeah. Reading for 3 years and no remedy. Who doing that? Ain't nobody been following me reading and you know, got to read. They ain't been reading. They lying. Yeah, they lying. Yeah, that's not even half believable. That's not even believable. Because all of us that read, man, if I read for 3 years, and that person not even teaching, oh my God, you should be having houses in the sky right now. Yeah, reading for 3 years, no remedy. I'm gonna tell you exactly what the problem is, and we're not laughing at them. The problem is distractions. You think you're reading, but looking at something and then skimming through it and not looking up the words, and you're not reading. You're just saying you read something. If you don't got results, I wouldn't even say I read nothing. I'd lie and say I just started this. I'd just be like, man, I just started this. Because to tell somebody I read for 3 years with no results, you know, because they quick to try to throw it on whoever been teaching them. You know, bro, that stuff doesn't work. Like, no, my friend, you don't work. Yeah, you have to read with an intent. Yeah. Because I damn sure ain't doing nothing for 3 years with no results. I'm hanging that shit up. I know me. I got results within a year. All right, I got results within a year. All right. But I did meet a lot of people, you know, that started taking my class that was, you know, studying for 15 years. And, you know, you can't blame all of them because you understand that a lot of this information wasn't this accessible. You know, it wasn't this accessible. So, you know, I kind of understand the older, you know, folks that was studying back in the 80s, back in the 90s, you know, this information damn sure wasn't accessible. I know it wasn't. Okay. But if you kind of understand what's going on and just start reading and just matching it up with the acts, I do understand. That's what I did for myself. I simplified a lot of this information. I said, you know what? If I don't read it, I'm not using it. Everything I didn't read, I didn't use it. Y'all remember they were telling folks to uh, um, use red ink to signify the blood of Jesus? Y'all remember they were telling us to write it like that? Yeah, and I was, man, it had us going around the world doing all this stuff that is nowhere. You can not read none of this stuff. It's almost like some code. You got to do this. No, you don't. Nowhere does it say that. Like, nowhere. All right. Yeah, nowhere. I go off exactly what I read. That's why no one can ever say I'm wrong. Because I'm like, if I'm wrong, the Bill of Exchange act wrong. The Federal Reserve act wrong. The Constitution wrong. The truth in lending must be wrong. I can never be wrong. I can never be wrong. I read too much to be wrong. Man, I'm here to help, family. All right, so tap in with this consumer casino. It's $20 to join the raffle. If for all winners, you'll win all my classes, and you'll win 2 tickets to my St. Louis class that I will be having March 30th. VIP will be meeting March 29th. General class is March 30th. Okay. Now for y'all that want to be able to be a part of something, being able to tap in with us weekly. All right, I do have a subscription. It's called We the People. All right, We the People subscription. You can tap into that link in my bio the same way you just got that raffle. For those that's in Instagram, you can click the link in my bio, find where it says We the People subscription. Now it's $88 a month, but let me tell you what comes with it. All right, you'll receive a weekly PowerPoint. All right, a weekly PowerPoint. Okay, going over something along the lines of contracting, might be about trust, might be about some UCCs, all right, might be about security interest, but it's always about information geared towards having capacity to contract. All right, we meet every Sunday. Every Sunday we meet at around 7 or 8 o'clock. Okay, that's where you can ask your questions. Okay, so because a one-on-one consultation with me is $250 for 30 minutes and $500 for an hour. So this kind of saves you money by basically tapping in for $88 a month. Again, you will receive a weekly PowerPoint. All right, so you receive 4 PowerPoints a month and 4 private sessions with me a month. All right, so you get all that for $88 a month, and again, you receive all the replays, the recording. All right, if you would like to tap into that, just so you can always have some information being sent to you, because I do understand how hard it is trying to find this information on your own. I do understand how classes can be expensive for some of us that's not in that situation. All right, and telling somebody to go watch my lives, that don't really just give you a visual. So being able to tap into that subscription gives you that information for you. All right. So if you want to tap into that, for those that are on YouTube, go to the link in my bio, click where it says hoodconsumeradvisor.com/links. Follow the prompt where it says website. You should see where it says We the People subscription. For those that are on Instagram, you can click the link in my bio as well and tap into that as well. Okay, so plenty of information for all price ranges. Again, if you can't tap into anything, let's say you don't even have the 20, that's okay. I have a beginner course that's free. It's like 6 hours long. All right, again, me just basically breaking down the Bill of Exchange Act, the Federal Reserve Act, the Sestakeva Act, the 1666, the Truth in Lending Act. Okay, I don't show you any documents. I just basically read to you. I break it down, and sometimes that's a great starter for anybody that don't know the information or just don't have a strong foundation. All right. Lastly, I do have a service where I do the documentations for you, not legal advice, lawful awareness. All right, I assist you with your documentation. All right, again, that can be your tender of payment, all your pre-administrative documents I can do for you. All right, I charge $1,000 for each account. Let's say you had a mortgage and your mortgage was $1 million, right? and you wanted me to do the pre-administrative documents, all right, that would be 1,000. And let's say you wanted me to help you with your post-administrative process, all right, meaning building your claim and things like that, all right, not legal advice, lawful awareness, all right, I do the whole package for $2,000, all right. Now, again, let's say, do the math. Let's say you had $1 million house, all right, and you needed assistance with your documentation. All right. Let's say you got the full premium package, 2,000. All right. I basically got your pre-administrative process for you, and I do your post-administrative process for you, meaning putting you right in situations, be able to utilize the security interest to cover all debts owed, putting you right in line to zero out your mortgage and to claim all the money that you came out your pocket. And I know that's way more than 2,000. I'm just giving y'all some type of scenarios, all right, because a lot of people they hear the price and not understand, like, 2,000. Yes, imagine having a car. Imagine if you just got a brand spanking new car. Okay. Okay. Somebody said $1,000 for no guarantee results. I'm gonna give you the documentation. We got results. What do you mean no guarantee results? No, it's no money back. All right, no, because after I do all the documentation, I'm gonna give them to you for you to send off. I'm not your lawyer. I'm not your attorney. Nah, I'm not your attorney. So no refund. So I'm letting y'all know that now. It's no refund. All right, I'm giving you everything you need so you can process. If you drop the ball, that's you, and I'm going to laugh at you. All right, yes, all right, because we have people that's been able to utilize those documents and they're getting results. So again, this is just something I'm just gonna buy this and get them classes, get the papers, and just send them off, and I ain't got like no, because you're going to receive the phone call. They're not going to call me. They're going to call you. So if they call you and say, "What was this that you sent us?" and you don't know how to explain, I don't know what to tell you. You can book me for a consultation and I can go over what needs to be done. But yeah, nah. All right. That service is more so geared for the people that's been following me. That's not really for beginners. All right. Because I don't want to put a beginner in that situation because they going to receive calls like, "Oh my gosh, I don't know what to do." So that's more so for people that's been following me. All right. I've never did a service for people. All right. So this will be like the first service where it's like I'm assisting with the documentation. Yeah. Yeah. So if the documentation is sent and they give you any type of pushback, you have to know how to basically answer like, "Hey, yes, I'm all right." But it's not something you just pay and you just go get left in. You know, if something come up, like you can reach out to me. It ain't something where you pay and you go. Like, no, you have my email. I put you in a portal. All right. And if anything comes up, if any issues, you just send us a message. To book a consultation, same link. If you want to book anything, family, just link in my bio. Go to the link in my bio. Go to the main page. It should say hoodconsumeradvisor.com/links. If you want to book a consultation, if you want to book that contract review service that I just mentioned, all right, or if you want to tap into my subscription, which is $88 a month, where you get those weekly PowerPoints, weekly meetings as well, or if you want to tap into the consumer casino that we have going on right now, we will be announcing the winner on Friday. It's $20. All right, all winners will receive all of my classes and 2 tickets to my St. Louis class that will be March 30th. Okay. All right. So that's what it is, family. All right. Appreciate y'all for, sticking around, hearing the updates, hearing the message. All right. Again, y'all, I'm here to help y'all. I'm here to entertain as well, but I'm here to help y'all at the end of the day. Okay. I'm here to help y'all get results. I'm here to help y'all change y'all family, but we can't change the families until we change you. All right. So again, that's what I'm here for. All right. If you look at me as a friend, cool. If you look at me as an enemy, cool. I'm here to help my enemies as well. All right. My enemies can still read their contracts, security interests. All right. A lot of that jealousy and things like that, will go away. Somebody said, "Help your pockets." I see. Of course, I'm going to help my pockets. Yeah, I'm about to take all the money that y'all about to give me, go to the strip club and throw it and blow it. Yeah, I got to get something for this, Now imagine imagine when some people say, "Well, you should do this for the kindness of your heart." I don't think anybody that's uninformed and that doesn't choose to read deserve anything. I'm one of those folks that would be at the table and they ask, what should we do with the people that just doesn't decide to read? That here's this information. I'm gonna be there and like, yo, I think we should round them all up, put them on a boat, all right, and extradite them to wherever. Let's get them out of here. I'm that guy, family. All right. So if I have to deal with people like that, yeah, I got to put a price on it. Yeah. Yeah. But remember, why think about the price when I can focus on the value? Meaning everything I just said. Some people still, oh my gosh, he's going to get something off us. Duh. And I don't know why influencers don't say this more. No, 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 no. Y'all got to hear this. I don't know why, because most people think like that because a lot of influencers don't say. People try to take the humble route, like try to act like they don't see comments. But I'm here to teach on all levels. I'm here to teach. A lot of people is wondering, well, why do we have to pay? Because you have to pay for everything. You have to pay attention even if you don't want to invest. So again, I'm here to help. I'm here to basically correct perspectives. All right. I get it. You feel like I should do this for free. Sometimes we have feelings that just aren't valid. Sometimes we have feelings that just ain't valid. Okay. So again, if you want to tap into any of those services, all right, link is in the bio. All right. If you want my free course, again, if you just want the free course, if you want to see what I'm about, all right, tap into my beginner course. All right. It's free. It's 7 hours long. It's free. You can see if I know what I'm talking about or not. All right. Start with that if you don't trust me. Okay. But for those that are ready to go, seatbelts on, you buckled up, you ready? Link is in my bio. Y'all, let's go. Y'all ain't no time to waste. All right. Every day that you wait and push back, it's another day that you coming closer to that bill that you have to use with personal income. You see what I'm saying? So again, y'all, peace and love, y'all. Make sure y'all tap in.